that we can balance our own inner divine masculine and feminine. Because, you know, we really can't, I believe, go into that center point without finding the balance. And many of you talked about, you know, reaching the divine. That is the way to do it. We have to be balanced with our inner and outer. So I'm going to show you the process. I have a whiteboard here, and I'll go through the whole process with you. I gave you all a printout, and did everybody get it? Okay, so you can take that home. It's so easy, and this process only takes a few minutes, and we do it every day. It will bring you into the light. It's so, so powerful. So I'm going to get my trusty thingy here, and I hope everyone can, I'll put it as far back as I can. I hope everybody will be able to see it, and you can see my beautiful artwork. It took a long time to try and get that. Okay. So, let's get these. Okay, so what I first saw, I saw my feminine self, my divine feminine, facing my divine masculine. And so this is what you can do too, all right? So this whole process begins, and I'm going to write it, I'm going to follow the process as we go around, and I'll show you what happens, all right? So first of all, the feminine aspect sends a light, and this light looked like sort of a liquid light. It was kind of like a rainbow color, iridescent energy. So the feminine sends, let's see if I can do this so everybody can see it. Maybe I have to go out in the back. So here's how it starts. The feminine sends the energy to the masculine part, and then it comes around and it goes through, and this is what I love, it goes through all the chakras. So it starts with going through the masculine chakra to the crown chakra, to the feminine crown chakra, and then back into the heart, okay? And then from there, it creates sort of a figure 8 energy, and it goes from there all the way down to the base chakra. So it goes from the base chakra of the masculine to the base chakra of the feminine, and it comes back around, and then it goes through the heart again. And this is the really cool thing. I love this. So it comes up again, and then it goes through the third eye of the masculine. So in this process, they're both helping each other. So the wisdom from the masculine goes into the feminine third eye, and then comes back down. And now it curves in the figure 8 and goes down to the second chakra, you see? And then it comes back around, and it goes through the throat chakra of both. So, and then you do the whole process over again. So just watch my hands. See how you go?
You didn't get the last one.
You didn't get the last one.
Third
Oh,
chakra.
sorry. Yes. Right. So then it goes from the feminine and down to the third chakra. Right. And then up. There you go. Thank you. So if you follow that pattern, see the figure 8? And then it goes here, through the third eyes, and then through the power chakra, and up through the throat. Oh, yeah.
This is something you're doing with your masculine self?
No, well, you're
With the
facing
partner.
your masculine.
Okay.
You're doing this in your mind.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So this is your own divine feminine, and you imagine your own divine masculine facing each other. Is that clear? Right? Okay, so you let, and you don't really have, you can just say to your higher self, I want the ignition to occur right now. and it will take care of it, all right? I like to kind of follow along because when I start it, I imagine the feminine and I go through the whole thing and I feel it. I just feel it. And so once you kind of feel that movement going, then the masculine does the opposite, all right? Now you become your own divine masculine. And you then send the energy from your heart to the feminine, up through the crown, back through the heart, down through the base chakras, up through the heart, and then see how the feminine now is feeding the masculine energy and wisdom, okay? And then you come down, go through the second chakra, up through the throat chakra, and then down. You see? So now you have both energies flowing, and it's going like this, right? And what does that look like? DNA, right? So that's the first part of the ignition. You in your mind, you can set the condition, you can go through it in your mind. And what I do is I see the feminine doing her thing first, and when I kind of feel that happening, then I become my masculine, facing the feminine, and I do the opposite. And then I begin to feel the energy flowing in the perfect balance. Now the key to the actual ignition, and what you're igniting is coming together. It's, if you imagine a triangle, right? Masculine on one side, feminine on the other. And what we're really seeking is the oneness. So when we're doing this, the key, which I'll show you in a minute, will allow you to ignite that fire that brings you up to the center. And along the way, once you get the key going, and I'll show you that in a minute, you can imagine going through Saint Germain's violet flame to clear and just transmute all that is not really you, your highest divine self, as you move up to the center. And the final aspect of this whole thing, when you come to the center, you merge into the oneness and you feel it. And so we'll go further. All right, so now we're coming to the key that really ignites this whole thing. All right, so the key is, now, after you feel this movement happening like this, now you're going to be in your feminine again, and you're going to send pure love from the feminine heart all the way down to the fire of purification in the center of the earth, and then coming up to the masculine heart, and then sending that love all the way up to source, and then down to the feminine heart. So that's another movement, right? So now you begin to just imagine you're breathing out, sending the energy down, coming up to the masculine heart, and then up to source, and then all the way down. So now you have this motion going, and then after you feel that, and meanwhile, all the other motions happening too. And like I say, you don't have to visualize it all. It's just about setting the condition that this is what's happening. So now you become the masculine, okay? And now the masculine sends love, pure love, from its heart all the way down to the center of the earth, and then through the feminine heart and back to the masculine. So you continue that motion. So what's happening? Everything is in perfect balance. So once you imagine that occurring, then you can go into meditation. And you can imagine this energy happening, and you're letting go and allowing your inner self to become absolutely balanced. One thing that happened to me when I kept practicing this, I do it every day. Finally, during our retreat in January, everyone was off to the volcano, so I took the day just to be with the practice because I taught it there too. And it was the first time that I actually experienced the oneness. And you know, we've all heard this forever, right? We are all one, right? I couldn't conceptualize that. I couldn't understand it. You know, yes, God is light and we're all there, but I just couldn't get it. And after I did this process on that day, and I became the light, and I really felt myself being the light, then I realized, oh my gosh, if you're light, there's no delineation, there's no separation, there's no boundaries, there's nothing. You are the light, right? So then I said, well, if I'm that, then you're it, and you're it, and everyone is that, right? So what I could really feel was that we are all the lights blended together, you know, like the molecules of the ocean are blended together. We are all the source, and we are all co-creating this reality. So it was so fantastic to realize this and to get it. So I'm hoping that you all can get that today, okay? So what I'm going to do is, I hope we can hear my voice with the sound, do you think?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'd like to do is have you all, you can watch this as I take you through it, or if you like to read, you can go through it, or you can close your eyes and just experience this. I'm going to take you through it and start the process, and once we go through all of it, we're going to be in silence for 5 minutes so that you can allow this amazing process to bring you into the balance. All right? So now imagine that you are your divine feminine. You're that goddess, the perfection of the feminine. And you are facing your own divine masculine. And now imagine that there is an energy that is so beautiful. It's a rainbow-colored stream of liquid light that you are going to now send from your heart to the masculine heart. And then allow that energy to flow up and go through the masculine crown chakra, passing into the feminine crown chakra, and then back to the feminine heart, into the masculine heart, flowing as a figure 8 down to the base chakra of the masculine and over to the feminine, coming back up into the feminine heart, and now moving upward and going through the masculine third eye into the feminine third eye, back to the heart, and then in a circular figure 8 down to the second chakra of the masculine. Moving into the second chakra of the feminine and back to the heart. Moving into the masculine heart and now up to the throat chakra of the masculine. Into the throat chakra of the feminine and back to the heart. And down to the third chakra of the masculine, passing through the third of the feminine and up to the heart. And now just imagine that flow for a moment. So that movement is already moving. Ask your higher self to allow it to continue. And now become your masculine self, your divine masculine, facing your divine feminine. And now the divine masculine is going to send that beautiful iridescent rainbow energy from his heart into the feminine, moving up through the crown chakra of the feminine into the crown chakra of the masculine, back to the heart in a figure 8 down to the base chakra and up to the heart, and now up through the feminine third eye into the masculine third eye, back to the heart and down to the second chakra. You see how they're feeding each other all the wisdom and knowledge that they know. Coming back up to the heart and through the throat chakra of the feminine into the masculine, back to the heart, and then to the third chakra of the feminine into the masculine. So imagine that flow now. Just be with that. So go back to your feminine self again and just pull up the most beautiful and powerful energy of pure love in your heart. So you're the feminine now, facing the masculine, and you're sending pure love now from your heart down through your lower chakras to the fire of purification at the center of the earth, up through the lower chakras of the masculine, and then all the way up to source, and back down through the feminine, up through the masculine, down through the feminine. Continue that motion for a few moments. And the final key, become the masculine self now, facing your feminine, and send this pure love from the masculine heart all the way down to the center of the earth, all the way up through the feminine heart to the source, and down through the masculine heart, continuing the motion. And this is the key now. And now the ignition is activated. So now just allow yourself to rise up from the bottom of the triangle that represents the masculine, feminine, and the one. You're rising up now, and as you rise up, the violet flame of Saint Germain clears and transmutes all that is not the essence of you. You're letting go, letting go. And now reach the top now, where the masculine and the feminine come together in the oneness. And become that light. Allow that light. Allow it to shine from your heart in all directions. And we will pause for a moment while you allow your light to shine brighter and brighter. has called them in. So just feel their energy surrounding us.